Okay, now Nikki, are you going to hang around briefly for the hot topic segment just for a minute?
Briefly, I have a very brief comment. I don't have a lot to say.
Okay. Well, for those paying attention, all the links to all the gigs are in the description as well. So if you want to go and check those out, please do. But for now, we're going to move on to the hot topic. Or just before we do, Gear is saying we're now planning a Down Under tour for Viking Queen and the Mighty One February next year, starting New Zealand, Australia. Cool. Good. Let us know how that's progressing, and we'll try and help you out with that one as well. But on to this week's hot topic, or this session's hot topic, I should say. And this is about what goes into, or who would we put into our ultimate band. And there was no rules or anything for it. It could be alive, dead, whatever. Who would you put into your ultimate band? Who would you want to hear do an album together? And Tim, I know you've got this lined up, and I've got it lined up as well. But Nikki, you had a brief thought you wanted to mention before we say goodbye to you.
Well, I'm glad you said there's no rules because I'm pretty sure I just broke them all already. I was a bit on the spot with the hot topic, and the thought flashed through my mind. It would be really fucking cool to have Genevieve from Tentris, Jennifer from Divine Ascension, and Morgan from Acolyte do something together, because they are three powerhouse, amazing fucking singers. And I just thought like an Avantasia sort of vibe. I don't know, just the three of them like fucking playing off each other. I just reckon that'd be pretty epic.
It would be pretty cool. That's not a bad one at all. I reckon it would be pretty cool. Yeah, that's a good idea. Hopefully we can see it happen, because they do all sort of run in the same circles a little bit. Hopefully we might be able to see something like that happen in the future, but we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed on that. Cool. So is there anything else you want to add to that, Nikki, or is that...
That's all I got.
That's all you got? Okay. So did you want to hang around for the rest of this, or are you signing off now? What are you doing?
I'll watch you two talk, because I'm interested in what you say, and then I will fuck off.
All right, cool. All right, Tim, let's go to you first. Who is in your all-time ultimate? Who would you like to do an album together?
All right, now there is so many different ways you can go doing this kind of thing. And I mean, I just went with people I liked. Not necessarily the best musicians. Like, I mean, it would have been very easy just to say, I want, Bonham, Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, and John Paul Jones. But, and I mean... But yeah, I have no idea whether these people would even mesh together or whatever, but whatever. These are just people that I like. So Matt Cameron from Soundgarden is one of my favorite drummers, so I'll put him in there.
Cool.
I've got Steve Harris on bass.
Nice.
Steve Harris is just a monster. And I've got two of my favorite riff writers playing guitar, which is Tom Morello from obviously Rage Against the Machine and all these other bands, and Pepper Keenan from Corrosion of Conformity and Down.
Cool.
And my singer, just because I've seen him do a supergroup before, and he does such a spectacular job with it, and he's such a versatile singer, even though I think most people wouldn't put him in your best band of all time, I've actually got Greg Cruciato from Dillinger Escape
Plan. Okay, cool. Excuse me.
Just because I think he's a versatile songwriter and a versatile singer that can do pretty much anything that's thrown at him. I mean, I would have loved to have put, like, I love guys like Phil, and I love the vocalist coming up later who I love, but I think Greg can do it all. So I've got him there. Especially when you've got Steve Harris and Morello and Pepper in there, you need a bit of variety.
Cool. All right. So for mine, I went the same way, but I tried to make a lineup that would, I think, work together, but also one that, is the whole, if you could do anything, why not have some fun with it? But also just sort of what I thought might be interesting to see as well, just for an album. So I started off with Mickey D on drums. I love his work across a great many things, which meant also I'm going to add to it Lemmy Kilmister on bass. I love his work and his drive on it. Then I added Don Airy on keys. And if you look at his body of work, it's impressive as all fuck. So I wanted to add some keys to it. And then on sort of, I think, shared duties on the rhythm and lead guitar sections, I put Jerry Cantrell and also James Hetfield. I think both of those can just as equally do the job, and I'd love to hear those two play together. I reckon that would be just fucking fantastic.
I thought about having Het as well.
Yeah, it's hard not to, isn't it? But then because I've got Yeah, because I've got so many vocalists in here as well, I figured I'd add a couple more. So I actually want to put Blackie Lawless on lead vocal, but as sort of a co-lead, also Amy Lee from Evanescence
Oh yeah.
would be put as a sort of a co-lead vocal element. While Nikki appears to have dropped out on us, but yeah, that's what I thought would be really interesting to see how they do something together.
I'm even just thinking now, like I was just like, I'd love to see a guy like Ian Pace from Deep Purple play with Lemmy
Yeah, it would
and
be
see
good.
what he could come, because Ian Pace has that kind, because both of them have that sort of 50s rockabilly thing, and
Exactly.
old, or even like what, like John Bonham playing with Frank Zappa,
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be
because
really
both
cool.
of them have that old 50s bebop jazz thing happening in a rock and roll context.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's so many cool, like I mean, even like like where my brain's going now is like, imagine if the Red Hot Chili Peppers, instead of Anthony Kiedis, had James Brown.
Wow. Okay.
And I know that's
That'd be interesting.
strange, but I'm just like, he's the weakest link in that band, and James Brown is one of the greatest front of all times, and in that
Yep.
style of band as well.
Yep.
And yeah. So there's so many ways you can go with things like this, and yeah.
If you wanted to go sort of similar but sort of not at the same time, imagine Red Hot Chili Peppers fronted by Gwen Stefani as an interesting
There
one.
you go. Yeah.
Just
Well,
as
I
a
mean,
random thought.
I mean, because I've been watching. I was just watching before. Because Palm and Funkadelic just started playing live again. They live streamed one of their gigs,
Yep.
and I mean, you can put, and I mean, George Clinton's done collaborations with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Later on, from the Red Hot Chili Peppers to Ice Cube, and I'm just thinking like, you could put you could have put Ice-T in front of a band with Tom Morello, and they would have killed it.
Absolutely.
And like, like there's so many great musicians out there. Like I was going to put in Dave Lombardo.
Yep.
Because I love Dave. Dave's the man, and I mean, if you look at all the bands that he's played with, I mean, with guys like Scott Ian and we recently played on the with Faith No More, dude. Album of the year last year.
Oh, yep.
But anyways, you know the album I'm talking about. And he's been playing with the Misfits, and they've been playing with Suicidal Tendencies. And I mean, even a band like Suicidal Tendencies, how many great musicians have gone through there, and how many great musicians have gone through the Mars Volta, yeah.
There's heaps out there. That's the fun part about doing these sorts of ones. Now, this whole thing was inspired by a question. That was actually when Nikki was interviewing me, she was asking people to put in questions. That was a question about who would make it into all-time band. So I figured I'd continued on here and get the comments, and it was a good one to get the people involved with. So on that note, Nikki said before, sorry, internet shut itself, but thanks for having me. So we're glad she's okay. But Mikey Zamboni said, you guys got it all wrong, and this is going to be the traditional one. He's gone Bonham on drums, and I think that'll be a very popular choice. I wanted to steer away from the purely obvious choices in a lot of respects as well. That's why I went for Mickey D, but I think he's also more versatile than people give credit to as well.
Bonham is the man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's the man. Everybody would just rip him off.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd have him in your band in a heartbeat. But yeah, I wanted to do something a little bit different with this. So yeah, for those out there watching along, give us your suggestions who you'd put in your all-time ultimate band. You've seen a rough idea from us now, so have a crack in the comments whenever you're watching this one, if it's live or later on. Yeah, let us know what you think as well. All right, Steve jumped in to say before. Okay, cool. I'm assuming he's enjoying some red, so cool. Awesome.
Just a random thought. You know who I would love to see do a collaboration, and this is not a hard rock thing at all, but Paul McCartney and Phil Collins. I'd love to see those two do something together.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Or a Billy Joel, maybe, if you're going to go down a really odd, out there sort of a path.
Well, the other frontman that I had, and I'm like, if I had to pick who's the best frontman that I've ever seen, I would have put down Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many people would you love to see Bruce play with?
Yeah, exactly. But even when you get down to talent, someone like Mike Patton could play with anyone, anytime, and make,
I mean, I actually saw one of the. I saw the tour where Tom Morello was part of Springsteen's band.
Oh wow,
and it was
cool.
it was very cool watching like Springsteen and Tom play off each other because Tom still sounds like Tom.
Yeah,
you know, he still has that kind of, you know, he's the heaviest guitarist in the band, and he's still got his playing all these scratching things and lots of uh lots of the whammy pedals. Like he's still doing that stuff, but in the context of Springsteen's music. So,
yeah. No, that's cool too. Like when you get to see people. We should do another whole topic at some point about, you know, what are some out there collaborations we'd like to see. That'd be an interesting one as well. Try and go really out of the box with it.
AC/DC and Axl Rose.
Yeah, well, that's been done.
Recently we saw Dave Chappelle and the Foo Fighters. So,
well, yeah, that's true. That was a thing as well.
If you haven't seen the clip, it was Dave Chappelle singing for the Foo Fighters, now covering "Creep" for Radiohead.
Yeah, I know.
And I wish I was there so bad. That looked fun.
Yeah, it would have been really fun to see that one. In the
and moment. Then whoever's shooting the camera cut to the side, and there's Chris Rock and John McEnroe.
Yeah. It pulls out all kinds, doesn't it? It's like everyone turns up for those. We can't get them here.
Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Benjamin Payne, our good friend, has jumped in to say, hey, guys, so good to see you here on YouTube. Thanks for jumping in. Mikey Zamboni is off. He's got Paul Stanley and Robert Plant. That'd be an interesting combination.
That's a good one.
But he's also put Bieber fronting AC/DC. Now, that would be odd, to say the least. There are some wild ones out there. But yeah, there's ideas in this one. Keep putting them in the comments as we go along. And if you got any thoughts on the...
you can do this forever, man. Like,
you could, yeah.
Imagine, I knew who'd be a good AC/DC front, Roger Daltrey from The Who.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That would be very, very cool. Same era, but Steven Tyler would be interesting in front of that band as well.
Steven Tyler would be good.
So there's some interesting ones there too. Michael Gowes jumped in and said an unexpected great collaboration was Miley Cyrus at the Temple of the Dog at Chris Cornell's farewell concert. That was a good one, actually. I will pay credit where due for that. That performance was fucking smoking, so she knocked it out of the park on that.
Miley, you should, for all of her pop hits, she's a phenomenal singer. Yeah,
exactly. Definitely agree with that. And Benjamin's jumped in to say, I always thought Tom Kiefer should have fronted instead of Axl for an AC/DC. That actually, not bad. There's heaps out there. There's another hot topic in itself. Who should have fronted AC/DC except for Axl Rose? David hated us for that hot topic, but it'd be interesting to do it anyway.
To be honest, I actually listened to a few of the clips. I actually thought he did a great job.
Axl did a good job. Axl did a really good job. Yeah. Is my connection okay, mate? Just making sure that my connection.
Yeah, okay. You're fine. Don't stress.
Cool. Just because it's doing some funny things here at the back, like with what I'm looking at, but I want to make sure if it's all good for you, then all good, because I'm getting everything clear, so it's all good. But yeah, there's a lot there. We can go into all these hot topics for hours and hours, but we'll try and get through a few reviews, shall we, before we drag on for way too long tonight. Here we go. Axl with the cast on. That'd be... Yep, there's something there. All right, in the comments, in the description, I'm going to put our first clip in for tonight. It's in the...